guys, welcome back to the podcast. It is the second episode of Asian Time. Once again, I am Jen, and as you can see, I have a guest today.
Hello.
Introduce yourself, Pookie Bear.
Hello, my name's Gianna. I'm a junior here at Westchester. I major in business management as well as marketing.
Wow. Guys, I know I didn't say my major like the first episode, but like by the way, I'm a communications major. If it's not obvious, that's why I'm doing this. But, once again, hopefully if we pop off after I graduate, we get more episodes, but not in this awesome podcast room because I'm not a student. I'm not allowed in here. But what if I sneak in? I never said that.
I'll be here for a year after.
I never said that, guys. I never said that. If the WCR manager's watching this, I did not sneak in. But yes, we have a guest for this episode, my Pookie Bear Gianna. So, if you guys remember from the last episode, I said I'm going to have guests now. And Gianna's episode is all going to be talking about her being an Asian, growing up in a white family. My girl is adopted. I'm not. I grew up in an Asian family. So, today's topic, we're going to be talking about the differences, how it was like growing up for us. And yeah, we're going to take it from there. So, Pookie Bear, what was it like? Okay, wait, guys. New take. Rewind. Mind wipe. Yeah, so let's pretend that didn't happen. Okay, so honestly, how was it like? Actually, how was elementary school? We'll start from the grade years, guys. So elementary school. How was it like growing up in elementary school?
It was definitely something, to say the least.
Yeah.
I remember specifically this one time where like it also has nothing to do with my race.
Oh.
At all, but we were learning about like MLK and like
Oh.
everything like that. And I remember this one girl told me, she was like, yeah, if that didn't happen, you wouldn't be here. And I was like, what? Because I was confused. Like you're like, note that this is like what, you're give or take 10 years old.
Oh my
maybe
God.
And you're learning about this for the first time. And I remember that one comment, and it stuck with me until this day.
Oh my God.
But other than that, no, I got a lot of questions about why my mom was white as well.
Ooh.
Because, like, when my mom would, like, come pick me up in the carpool lane or anything like that, or she'd
the
drop
little
me
carpool
off.
lane.
And then I would get those questions and be like, oh, is that your mom? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, why is she white? And I'm like, what? Because the way that I grew up, it was just, like, I don't even know how my mom made it so, like, natural, being like, oh, like, yeah, we went to China, da-da-da-da, like, we adopted you. Like, it was just natural for me. Like, it was like, oh, okay. Like, it is what it is, basically.
Yeah, man.
But,
at least your mom came to pick you up. Yeah, guys. Single mother household. I had a babysitter. My mother was not seen at the school in elementary school. That's actually crazy. Like, you're confused, they're confused, everybody's confused at that comment, like.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, and it was, like, me, her, and, like, a couple other people around. And, like, nobody else said nothing. Because at that point, you're just 10 years old. You're just learning about something.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just, like, the mind of a 10-year-old, I guess.
Yeah.
Or just curiosity in general.
Yeah, no.
Who knows?
Wow. I never got that comment growing up in elementary school, but man, I had bad experiences, bro. I remember one time, I had this very vivid memory in elementary school that I will never forget, because I've literally, okay guys, so if anybody knows, like, Indonesians, like, satay, like, chicken satay on, like, the little, like, skewers, so I brought that in to class one day, because my mom grilled skewers, like, the day before, and I brought that in to eat for lunch, and I opened it up, and somebody going to be like, why you got shish kebabs? And I'm like, huh? I'm literally looking at them, me in like second grade. I'm like looking at this girl and I'm like, what do you mean shish kebabs? This is skewers. And like little 10-year-old me being like, these are skewers, these are not shish kebabs. And they're like, this is shish kebabs. I'm like, my own food being whitewashed in front of me in the elementary school cafeteria.
No. Oh my God, the elementary school cafeteria. I used to get comments there too. Oh my gosh.
I literally was just like sitting there and I'm like, I'm never bringing food from home ever again.
Yeah.
Every time I see those videos being like, when you bring your Asian food to lunch and then somebody's be like, ooh, what's that smell?
I would get that comment. If my mom made like dumpling. Like, no, white mother, white parents. I still got dumplings. And I would still get that comment or be like, oh, why don't you have soy sauce with that? Wasn't that crazy? I also went to a predominantly white like district.
Yeah,
It
I went
was
to a
very
predominantly white elementary school too. Like,
Yeah.
that's like, I was just literally sitting at like the cafeteria table, and I'm like, you know what? We're never having this moment again. I came home and I'm like, Mom, don't give me this again. Like with tears in my eyes, like actual tears in my eyes. I'm like, Mom, never do this to me again.
No, yeah, and there's assigned seating and everything that I would get during elementary school, so you'd have to sit in a specific spot. No, never again.
This
No,
incident
never
has shaped
again.
me to this day, guys.
I agree. No, elementary school, Gianna deserved some. Well, she had some weird fashion choices, but
Oh. Yeah, elementary school me had bangs.
I
had
also
bangs.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I was also a child of the Dora cut.
Wait, no, my mom cut my bangs. Like my
No,
mom trimmed my
yup.
bangs.
Yep. No, I never went to. I never went anywhere to get like my hair cut up until like probably college, because I'd have my mom cut it or like my aunt cut it.
Oh. Yeah, no. I remember this one time in second grade though. You know, if anybody knows this trend, it's not even a trend. It's actually a very racist trend actually. When like the little children moving their eyes and being like Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese.
Oh.
I literally lost my mind when this was happening in front of me in second grade because I didn't know what was going on. Just a tiny little Asian Jen in like her predominantly white second grade classroom being like,
Yeah.
like being hate crimed at the age of like not even 10, 8.
Yeah.
Like it was actually a
Wow.
crazy experience, especially because I was just like, I remember my mom actually telling me, she was like, growing up you didn't like being Asian, like you wanted to be white. I was just like, maybe because I got bullied, mother.
No,
Maybe because I had to
literally.
deal with racism at like the age of 8.
Yes.
Like 8 and 10. Like I was just like being bullied and dealing with racist remarks. I wonder why.
No, yeah.
Like my mom was being like, now you're like so like into our Asian culture, and now like, but growing up you didn't like it. I was like, man, I wonder why. You know, the acts of my childhood really impacting me. That is crazy.
No, definitely getting bullied because you were like not white specifically. Like a lot of Asian kids would get bullied and like stuff because like it was like Asian, it was Chinese, it was a lot of Indian kids also got bullied. A lot.
I didn't have those. I didn't have that in my elementary school because I think it was literally just like me, and then there was just one other like Chinese girl was in my class. I remember growing up in elementary school, and then I think another girl like transferred in like 4th grade.
I remember second grade, I was in like a math class, and this little Asian boy had such a big crush on me, and everybody wanted us to be together
Oh.
because we looked good together. Or
Oh.
I don't. It definitely had that. It was definitely like microaggression there or something.
Me when I had to deal with microaggressions in elementary school. Bro.
Me when it still sticks to me to this day. Like I
Yeah.
still remember all these stories that I can
Yeah.
talk about, which is so.
Yeah.
Oh
I think a crazy
my.
thing for me though is because I'm like mixed Asian. Like I'm not fully Chinese. I'm not fully Indonesian. Like I'm half of each. And then like, cause like the 2 other like Asian girls in my like elementary class and stuff, like they were like full Chinese, and they like people could tell like when you look at them and like, yeah, that's Asian. But like I've definitely been told like I'm white passing at times. Like some people don't know I'm Asian, and then so there would be like times where like, I don't know why, but like some like Asian tops be like coming up in like the elementary like school like curriculum or whatever, and then they would always like go to them for like confirmation, and I was just like, what about me? What about me? I felt like I was being erased. I felt like I was being erased in the classroom at like the age of like 8 to 10. Like just literally just like from 1st like 5th grade, it was literally just like
Oh, because your elementary school was.
it was 1st to 5th grade.
Okay, my elementary school was kindergarten to 4th grade.
Oh.
That was mine. And then my
No.
middle school starts in 5th grade and ends in 8th. And then my high school's 9th through 12th.
No.
So that's how my district worked.
No, because I moved, but it was like first I was like just like kindergarten, and then we moved on to like 1st to 5th grade, and then it was like when I went to middle school, it was 6th to 8th grade, but in 7th grade I moved, so then my whole like school, like everything just like changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
That's-
was
yeah.
crazy experience in elementary school, but don't even get me started about my middle school experience, because man.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Middle school time. Outfit change also. Whoa! Sorry, guys. I like way too hot. My bad.
It's really hot.
My bad. But yeah, middle school time. So I guess my main middle school experience of like, especially Asian and like racism, might be 6th and 7th grade, because 7th grade, after I finished 7th grade, my mom like moved us, and then I had to start a whole new school. That was an experience. But I also like changed, so maybe I'll also talk about that. But I remember 6th and 7th grade. That's when I started getting into like, that's when I started getting into my culture, as in like Pokemon. Finally going back into like Pokemon and like anime and like my idol music. That's when everything started. But that's also when my bullying started to get worse. I fear, because during that time, because I was like getting into those interests. I was like very vocal about my interests, because I was literally just like I was literally like 12. Like I wasn't told to like hide my interest. I was 12. I wasn't told to hide my interest. So I'll be coming to class and I'll be like, oh my god, guys! Like I'll be like listening. I'll be coming into like the elementary school, listening to my like K-pop on like my little like tiny Samsung phone that I had at like the age of like 11 that my mom gave me, and then like be like talking about like anime and stuff, and then I would get like the weirdest looks, because predominantly white middle school, nobody knew what was going on, and then I was like known as like the weird girl. Yeah. And then I got bullied. And then also I remember in elementary school, not elementary school, but middle school, because I was like in like the honors classes, and like in like honors science, this kid was also in my other honors classes, but there's this one guy I liked in middle school.
Oh,
If we all know where this story is going, yeah, he found out, and then he thought I was weird, and I think he also contributed to my bullying. I don't remember, because I kind of blocked that era of my life out as well. But I remember I would like sit at like lunch though in like middle school, and I had like this one friend, and then she would like listen to me like talk about like Pokemon and stuff, and I really appreciate her. I don't know where she's at today, but you know, wherever you are, queen, middle school me appreciated you for listening to me. But also, that's also when like I started like getting online onto like Instagram, and then brain rot, horrible times of my life. But yeah, that was my middle school experience. I won't talk about 8th grade yet, because man, 8th grade's gonna be an experience.
No, yeah. I would definitely say middle school, I feel like in 5th grade, nothing really happened. It was 6th grade that, like, you know, like the popular kids, the popular
never
kids.
Escaping 6th grade. We're never escaping 6th grade.
6th grade was really bad for me. I got bullied really hard, and I feel like something that I realized that didn't happen in like other schools, or like wasn't a normal thing, was like, oh, like the popular guys pretending that they like you, or like pretending like that they're interested, or anything like that sort.
Oh, brother.
Or like, and then bully you behind your back or something, or like play like stupid pranks on you and everything. And I genuinely do think it was because I was different, because I was also just very still like whitewashed, because I grew up with 2 white parents in a white neighborhood in a white school, but also was still attending Chinese school.
Ooh.
Now, Chinese school is a whole different thing, because even in Chinese school, I think my friend was like Asian, so she was half white, half Asian and everything, and we would mainly just be learning like the language, how to speak it, like all of that. Whereas, like, my mom and my dad signed me and my younger sibling mainly up for Chinese school to learn more about our culture. But obviously that wasn't what it was. So
Oops.
we ended up quitting
Oopsie.
after, like, 10 years of doing it. And I couldn't tell you that I learned anything from there.
Oh.
But I didn't know that it wasn't normal for the popular kids to, like, bully you on the side and, like, all of that stuff until, like, honestly, like, high school or, like, recently. I was like, oh, that didn't happen to you? Like, what do you mean? Because the thing was that they only did it with people that were minorities. They never did it with, like,
that's actually like a hate crime.
Girl,
like, that's actually a hate crime. That's actually a hate crime.
Like, I was
would
like,
actually call it a hate
why?
crime.
Because it was me and then my one friend, I won't say her name, but she was Indian. And we would get bullied and, like, picked on and, like, pranked or, like, whatever a lot in 6th grade.
Bro.
That was an experience.
No, you saying that actually, like, unlocked a memory for me. Because
Yes.
I remember, like, because...
It's so bad.
Like, the guy little 6th grade Jen liked, I'm 100% sure, guys, that he knew I liked him. in little 6th grade. And I'm pretty sure, like, him and his friends, like, they bullied me with, like, the fact that they knew that fact. And I actually wanted to, like, cry and, like, die in 6th grade. So, thanks, guys. If you see this now, thanks. Thanks, here I am.
Thanks, you traumatized me, probably for the rest of my life, actually.
Thanks, guys.
Because now I just think everyone
hates
that
me.
Does like me, it's a joke. Like, I'm like, oh, it's a joke.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Don't bully because it really impacts you at the age of 20 and 21.
No, it definitely does. Like, did it make me a better human? Potentially. Did it
know.
give me a lot of trauma? Of course. No, middle school was definitely interesting. And then, like, 7th grade and 8th grade, I'll, like, combine the two in a way because that's when I, like, joined the multicultural club and everything. And
I wish I had that. I wish I had that.
Was definitely a good experience and everything because that's when I got really close to, like, a teacher and, like, a bunch of different people from, like, just, like, different cultures, learning more about them and everything. And that's when I started learning about, like, identity and, like, all of this stuff and, like, more about just, like, my own culture. So that was definitely something and everything. My middle school days of getting bullied by the popular white.
Oopsies. Not really oopsies. It shaped me. No, I remember the only thing I had in 6th and 7th grade in my white middle school was the anime club, guys. And we all know how that goes. I have very embarrassing moments from being in that club in 6th and 7th grade that I, like, completely, like, blocked out of my mind palace. And I don't want to bring them up again because they're blocked in my mind palace for a reason. But I remember when I switched schools to 8th grade, though, because I was like, guys, new fresh start. We are not repeating the same mistakes. So, yeah, I basically did not mention any of my freaking interests in 8th grade. I was literally, like, a silent sleeper, but also because of, like, the last year of the school anyways. So I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm not even going to, like, see these kids probably again in, like, high school. But I literally just, like, didn't say anything about my interests. I was just, like, I know, like, some people, like, when they were said, like, my first impressions in, like, little 8th grade, they were just like, oh, wow, another Asian kid in the class. I was like, well, guys, thanks. Asian representation. Yay. But, yeah, I remember that. I didn't remember being told that in 8th grade. But then I remember because in 8th grade, I also, like, just, like, never, like, cut my hair. Like, I still haven't, like, cut my hair. And so I also had, like, really long hair. And everybody was like, oh, my God, why's your hair, like, how's your hair so long? I was like, okay, thanks, guys. But then, like, high school happened, and then I'll save high school for the high school session. Yeah.
No, middle school. I remember there's. I also remember this. Once again, what grade was it? 6th grade, because that's where all my trauma happened. Was 6th grade. That this one girl who was bullying me and everything, and it was like a little trio. It was me, this one girl who was also Asian, and then this other girl who was Filipino.
Oh,
and
brother.
Everybody would always get us mixed up and everything. And, like, the thing is that, like, okay, I still don't understand me and the other Asian girl, because in my opinion, I still don't think that we look alike at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I would get mixed up a lot with the Filipino girl. And her, like, I just never understood it because, like, her eyes were so much more wider than mine. Like, we didn't have the same skin tone. Like, I had more of a yellow undertone than her. Mm-hmm. And it just bothered me so much.
You know, that would also bother me.
Because she'd get called my name a lot, and I'd get called her name a lot. And it bothered me, and then I think it bothered her a little too much to the point where she did start bullying me. And then... And then a counselor was involved.
Oh, my God.
In conclusion, I don't know where she is. I don't even know if she still goes by the name that she went by in 6th grade. I think she changed it twice.
That happens. I remember one time because, like, when I switched, like, middle schools, my other middle school that I went to was, like, a Catholic middle school. But back in 6th and 7th grade, when, like, I had the gym class, and, like, you know how, like, you have to, like, actually change in, like, the locker rooms and everything?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
I would wear shorts during gym because it's a freaking gym class, so, of course, I'm gonna wear shorts. And then, like, all, like, the freaking, like, 7th grade and 6th grade girls be looking at my legs being like, why aren't your legs shaved? They always look at my legs because I didn't shave them because it was 6th and 7th grade. What was I supposed to do? Pick up a razor and shave my legs at the age of, like, 12?
Dude, that or, like, they'd start making fun of you for not having a bra.
Yeah. that's all I really got about, like, middle school. Honestly, I blocked out a lot of middle school because of how traumatizing it is. Like, you guys don't even know, like the most of it. And also, I think also because, like, middle school, I was, like, getting, like, heavily bullied. I think that's when, like, my bullying, like, amped it up. So then I was, like, literally just, like, a sad little child. I was just, like, sad little child. My mom didn't know what's going on. My mom thought I was, like, probably going through, like, a phase in middle school. So, yeah, that happened. And then I switched middle schools. And then, like, I basically just never talked about my silly little interest again because I got bullied for it. So I just never mentioned it again. I was like, yeah, trauma really just does that to you.
Oh yeah, middle school is definitely where I started learning about like code switching and stuff, and that like I learned about it and I realized I did it a lot more than I thought and everything, because like I had like a group in like 5th and 6th grade, and that was like somewhat diverse, and like I played volleyball too, and like in high school, and like that team was a little diverse, but like overall, like, I was mainly friends with, like, white people. I, like, will say that. Like, I never had an urge to learn more about my culture, which definitely probably was not the best, and I probably should have, but I didn't. I don't know why, I just didn't care as much as, like, maybe, like, other people did and everything.
I think for me, because, like, I was still, like, because I was being bullied for, like, being Asian, so I didn't want to be Asian because I was being bullied for it. So, obviously, like, little 6th and 7th grade me didn't want to be it. And then I remember, like, because, like, even in, like, my middle school, it was, like, a predominantly white area in middle school, but there was, like, obviously, like, some diverse kids. And I think majority of my friends, though, were, like, still, like, white because I literally had no choice.
Yeah.
And, like, I literally had no other choice. But then, like, I would, like, come home. And then, like, I would just, like, have my little Asian food that my mommy cooks for me. But then I go back to my white school with, like, tears in my eyes because I was being bullied. And then I remember when I switched schools to, like, 8th grade. And I went to, like, my little small Catholic middle school. And then, even then, I was still a predominantly white middle school. And then, so, even then, I still, like, had white friends. And, like, I was, like, just, like, for 1 year. So, like, I didn't really care about that much in 8th grade. But that was also 8th grade. That's when I was like, okay, I'm going to switch my life up. We're not going to talk about my silly little interests now.
No, that was one thing, like, my friends and everything, they never, like, made fun of me for, like, the food or, like, anything like that. Like, any of those, or, like, going to Chinese school or anything. Like, I never got made fun of them from them, which is probably why they were my friends. But definitely, I remember, I think, I was in a Spanish class and I started speaking Chinese by mistake, and I was like, oh shoot, like, that's gonna come bite me in the butt probably later. Like, I'm definitely gonna get bullied from that. I don't think I did.
Oh my
God. At least not to my face.
Oh.
Behind my back, who knows? I still, once again, don't trust any of the kids that went to my school or anything. Or in my district. They just do not talk about diversity enough. Oh, high school. Oh, wait till we get to high school. Yeah. I have a decent amount of stories from high school, good and bad, but
yeah. I think because I always struggled in, like, English classes because English wasn't my first language growing up, because I learned English and Indonesian at, like, the same time because my mom always spoke Indonesian at home. I can't speak Indonesian anymore. I can say foods, guys. Nasi is rice. Just say. But sorry, off topic. But I do know because, like, I, like, had, like, growing up with, like, 2 languages, I had an accent when I went to school. And throwback to, like, kindergarten. We're going back, actually, guys. We're not going forward. Kindergarten, I was forced into, like, literally into, like, the speech classes because I had an accent. And so, like, it was literally me and, like, the one other, like, Chinese girl in my kindergarten. We were both in the freaking speech class, and I felt like it was a microaggression because they were just like, yeah, you can't speak proper English because I had a freaking accent. And I remember I, like, bring home my speech papers, and, like, my mom would practice with me, and my mom was confused because she also, she also has an accent because, like, English isn't her first language. My mom's English is actually pretty fire eyes, just saying. Love my mom. But yeah, me and her would be doing these speech papers, me and, like, literally, like, 4 years old in kindergarten trying to, like, pronounce, like, O's and stuff. Guys, I literally said Wednesday, not Wednesday. I said Wednesday growing up.
Oh.
Because I didn't know proper English. And so I would always get bullied because people are like, why are you saying it like that? And I'm like, is it not Wednesday? No, it's not. It's Wednesday, not Wednesday, little me. Love you, though. Love my inner child.
No, yeah. I never went to, like, speech or anything like that. Like, that was one thing that was definitely more of, like, me having, like, a white mom. Because, like, it's especially, like, in elementary school, like, my mom would come in a lot because she was friends with a lot of, like, the office people and everything. So they actually know who she was.
Oh.
So I never, like, got asked to go to speech or anything like that, which was nice. But I also have, like, my best friend. She was, like, Albanian, and they're white and everything. But because her, like, family was from a different country, she got put in speech even though English was her first language, and she spoke it completely fine. But she still got put in speech for, like, 2 years because of that. So another microaggression that was not, that was stereotypical, maybe.
Free everybody from the speech classes. I'm sick of my speech. I'm sick of the speech classes. But yeah,
Classes.
but I remember after I finished 8th grade and I went to high school. We're going back now. We're going back to high school, guys. Sorry, I just want to say my little speech story. But now we're in high school, and I went to a Catholic all-girls high school. So fun, so fun.
You went to an all-girls high school?
Yeah. Lordrop. Jen Lordrop.
What?
Jen Lordrop. I went to an all-girls high school, guys. But even then, it was a predominantly white high school still, so not a lot of people of color. And
That
so
actually flabbergasted
I
me.
think I'm trying to go back in like the freaking my palace, like remember like freshman year. I think my freshman year was kind of fine. I could be lying, but I still had long hair freshman year. And towards the end of freshman year, I chopped it all off. I had a freaking bob, guys. I had a bobbed. I had short hair at the end of freshman year, and then I think also like towards the end of freshman year, because I was also in the orchestra, and that's when I met like one of my good friends who is Filipino, and that's when like I started getting like into like the diverse crowd. Like I wasn't like in a white crowd anymore, and I was like, oh my god, people who were different, people who were different, and then so I started being like kind of like embracing my culture and like trying to learn more about it growing up in high school, which was like super nice. But like, man, I had an experience during COVID. COVID was not a great time for me being Asian in a predominantly white high school. It was not a fun time, but I did know before COVID happened, I was able to bring my Asian food to school, because I was sit with like the people who understood, people who
Yes.
understood.
Yeah.
So I was able to bring my Chinese food, my Indonesian food to school, heat it up in the microwave, and have no fear with it on the table.
That's nice. I feel like my high school was also relatively, like, kind of this, not, like, the exact same, but relatively the same as yours, where, like, the bullying definitely stopped, at least, in high school for a little bit. Like, at least the bullying stopped, like, for the fact that I was, like, Asian and stuff. There was bullying, but that was that was a different thing. Over the head. That goes over the head.
Microaggressions out the window now.
Exactly. That was for a different thing. But I remember 9th grade, I got invited to something in my school. I think it was like the second semester, and it was something called SOAR. And I think I went to one of the meetings because I got to miss class. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to one of these meetings. But I got invited and everything, and it was, I think from what I remember, I think it was students,
Girl.
Students, something for anti-racist. I don't know. But it was something, like, diverse and everything like that. But I remember going to that, and it was, like, a lot of people, a lot of, like, minorities, everything like that. There were some white people and everything in there, too, but it was definitely interesting because I learned so much more about diversity, so much more about, like, different cultures and, like, just, like, history and everything. And I heard a lot of other people's stories with racism, which helped me a lot and made me realize that it, like, not that it was normal, but other people had things going on in their life as well as, like, I did.
Yeah. Yeah. High school is when I was not so alone, but I was still bullied. But yeah, I think another thing for me in high school was also like joining like the like multicultural club and like being like, oh my god, finally having like one of those and like seeing like other people like dealing with like my problem, like I guess like my problems, but like problems with like race and all that stuff, especially like in high school. And I think another thing for me was there's actually some like racist incidents in like my high school, which was crazy.
We had those too.
Me when the predominantly white school has racist incidents.
Oh my gosh, I remember ours. Because there was, okay.
I don't want to give too much information on mine only because it will reveal what middle school I went to, and I hate people finding out what middle school I went to.
Okay, I don't think mine would reveal what high school I went to, just due to the fact that I feel like a lot of people have incidents like this, sadly.
Oopsie. But not an oopsie, very bad, actually.
Yeah. First of all, it was SOAR, it was Students Organized for Anti-Racism. And then, like, an incident that happened was, I remember when this one girl went on a live, and it was her sister, and they're both white.
Oh.
And her sister said the N-word. And it got, like, reported back to the school, everything like that. And then we had, like, I think it wasn't, like, a protest, but it was, like, kind of something that was organized by our, like, BSU.
Mm-hmm.
They had, like, a talk and everything about that. They had shirts made. Like, all of the proceeds went to some, like, a specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they made it, like, a huge thing. And, like, yes, like, what they said obviously was bad, and they should never be saying that. But also the bullying that they got, like, afterwards from it was a lot more than they should have gotten, to the point where it definitely made them not mentally stable and caused other issues for them.
Oh my god.
Which, like, I did feel bad for. And it was especially for, like, the one girl, like, the girl that went on live that didn't even say it. Like, she got bullied really bad, and she didn't even say it. It was her sister. So,
dang.
That was an incident that happened that was really bad at my high school. But I also feel like a lot of people say it nowadays, which is not good. But
guys, let's not do that. It's 2025. Let's end this, guys.
No, I agree.
No. I'm honestly, when like people's like old tweets come up to like them saying like that word,
it's
and
crazy.
like I see that and I'm actually very grateful for the fact that I did not do that when I was like 13 and 12. Obviously, like people who like said it when they're like 12 or like 10, obviously like they didn't know better.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I feel like saying it in like 5th grade is completely different from like saying it now at like your grown age of like 20, 21.
No, I
like,
completely agree.
Like if I like think back to like the microaggressions like people did with like their eye pulling to me in like 2nd grade, like if I like saw those if I saw those people today, I wouldn't hold that against them because they were like literally like 8 years old with me and I didn't even know what was happening. I thought it was just like a silly thing kids were doing.
No,
I didn't know it was a microaggression.
Exactly.
Whoa,
like at that point, it's like you're right. It is different from now versus like back then. Because it's one thing if like you're saying something or doing something that you genuinely like don't know the meaning to it, like at all. Versus like now, like it's 2025, and I feel like if you are 20, 21 years old, you should be knowing a lot more, especially with like what's going on with like politics and everything nowadays. But
like I feel like even like people who have like slip ups at like the age of 20 and 21 saying it, that is not a slip up, bro. I personally do not believe that is a slip up. Personally, in my own opinion, I don't think that's a slip up. I think you know fully what you're saying and you accidentally said it in like the wrong crowd.
I agree.
And like I feel like a lot of like people are like saying like, because don't get me wrong, I went to a predominantly white area. I grew up with racism being like normal. So like, but like me today, you're not seeing any of that coming from me because I'm educated and I know better, and I'm not gonna let that happen. I know better. It's not in my daily vocabulary like some people in their lives. But that's just me personally.
No, exactly. I 100% agree with you. Like, you're right. Like, sometimes it's just not a slip up. Like, what do you mean? You know what that word means. You fully know the history behind it and everything at this point.
like if you're in college, like if you're in college, like if you're in college and high school, like college to like junior year of high school, like freshman year and sophomore year of high school, I'm gonna give you a little side eye I'm not gonna give you the benefit of the doubt first off. No, but I'm definitely gonna like look at you very weirdly as well. But like the minute it's like junior year of high school to like college, you should know better. Like genuinely, you should know better.
No, I 100% agree. Because like high school is where you start learning everything. Like I remember we were reading like some book in my sophomore year, like literature, like American literature class, and it was about like it was actually I think it was called Kindred. And they made it into a show, I think. Oh. It was actually a really good book. It was the only book I actually read in high school that I genuinely enjoyed. But it was so weird talking about it with the class and like saying that because like in the book it did say the N-word and like it was so awkward just due to the fact that I was the only person of color in that class. We had a class of 22 kids, including teacher. They were all white. Every single one of them were white. So it was awkward having to talk about diversity because they just didn't, not that they didn't have the knowledge, but I just felt awkward and weird talking about it being not white in that classroom and then having to be in like group discussions and everything. Yeah.
I feel like, I know like in high school, I think a big thing, especially like, because like COVID started happening and an Asian hate rise. I'm still... Please end Asian hate, guys. Like, that shit is still happening today. But I know where I was going with this, guys. Bear with me. But I remember when COVID was happening, and then, like, we were all in lockdown, right? Mm-hmm. And then I think after, like, maybe, like, a year, they started opening, like, once the new school year was coming back up, they started opening things back up because they wanted people to go back to school. But, like, for me, it was, like, a hybrid, so, like, one day going in, one day staying at home. Yeah. But I remember, like, the days I would be in school, I would start hearing, like, racist remarks about, like, COVID and stuff. Even before we went on lockdown, like, in my anatomy class, I remember in my anatomy class, my like, teacher, he put on, like, a video, like, explaining, like, COVID and, like, the origins, like, trying to like teach us about it because like I'm pretty sure he was predicting that we were going on lockdown with us. And so he was like playing it and like some girl in my class like brought up being like, well, like it's like the Chinese people eating like the bats and all that stuff, and I'm literally just like trying to sit there. I'm literally sitting in my anatomy class just like straight face, just like still, like I was like still as like a freaking rock because I didn't want to like whip my head around. I didn't want to do any confrontation because I'm literally just like a junior in high school. Like what was I supposed to do, start a fist fight in my Catholic girls' school?
Oh my gosh, no, that literally brings up a topic of I had this conversation, I'd probably say last year, like last semester I had this conversation with somebody, and it was a political conversation, and I'm not always that knowledgeable and everything, but I remember they were talking to me about, they were like, well, the Chinese made COVID. And I was like, what? And I was like, hello? And they were like, well, the Chinese made COVID in a lab, and then it spread and da-da-da-da. And I was like, babe. Oh. What?
Guys, the internet is free. Google has this really fun thing where you look something up now and like you have the AI answer first and then the links. I think everybody should use their free will. Use your free will to look things up and educate yourself. That's because what the heck? Because I remember when we were going back to school and like it was like my senior year and I'm just like trying to get by my senior year like with this stupid hybrid and then I'm like walking behind these girls and like talking about COVID and like saying it's because of like the Asians and stuff. I'm fully right behind them walking. I was like, bro.
You're glad I don't smack you over the head.
I was like, bro, what do I do in this? Like, what does like us, like, I'm not even 18, I'm 17. What does a 17-year-old do in that situation? Like, I feel like COVID was such like a weird situation for me. Especially another thing was the fact that like my mom, because like she didn't like, obviously she was staying at home with me. And, like, she didn't understand, like, the full extent with, like, the Asian hate, especially because of COVID. Like, my mom was, like, very much, like, not really, like, blind to it. But, like, she just wasn't, like, knowledgeable about it compared to, like, me as, like, a 17-year-old, like, being chronically online because of COVID. So, like, she didn't know. And, like, I would, like, urge her to stay at home, like, especially because, like, there was this one period of, like, intense, like, protest and like rise of hate, and I like tell my mom, please stay at home, do not leave the house.
Inside.
But yeah, I was urging my mom to like stay at home because she didn't understand, and like she was just like, "That's not gonna happen to me. I'm gonna be completely fine." I was like, "Mom, if you go outside and if you don't come back."
I warned you. I warned you.
Yeah, I think during COVID was definitely like an eye opener, especially like in my household.
I definitely didn't get any like remarks or anything about COVID other than like that conversation I had and stuff, or like just I don't know. It was definitely different, like with everything happening in like high school and like COVID and like all of that, and like you're a year older than me, so like I got a full graduation and everything like that.
Yeah.
But
I graduated in a church, guys. I wasn't able to have my graduation at a college like the years before me.
Damn.
Yeah, they moved our graduation to a church, to a more enclosed space.
Yeah, no, definitely high school like was an eye opener for like diversity, identity, and everything like that. Because I was in that group SOAR. I like found out about like what white privilege was and everything like that. And I'd try, and like the thing is like this sucks. My parents were a lot older than like other people when they had kids and everything. So
when they picked you up.
Yeah, exactly. When they flew all the way to China to come pick me up and everything. But the thing, like, my mom at that point was like, give or take 50s-ish, and I was trying to talk to her about how I like didn't have white privilege and everything like that. This is where it gets interesting with having a white mother and a white father. I would get into really bad, serious fights, screaming fights with my mom talking about white privilege and everything like that, because she was like, well, you don't have somebody following you around a grocery store thinking you're going to steal, or like da-da-da-da, like those stereotypical things and everything. And I was like, yes, I know, Mom, but you need to also understand, like, I live a different life than you. Like, I don't have white privilege. And we get into a lot of screaming matches that would end up in us screaming at each other, then me crying, and then her just screaming more at me and everything. So that was definitely hard, and it's definitely, like, the thing is that we stopped talking about it because no matter what, we would always get into fights. Mm-hmm. So I stopped talking about it with her. And she was like, I remember once she was like, well, I'm sorry I'm white. And I was like, no, that wasn't the point of the conversation. I'm just bringing it up. You don't need to feel sorry or anything like that. Like, I just want you to understand at least a little bit where I'm coming from. Yeah. But my mom's also, like, a little selfish, so. Besides the point and everything. No. But I still love her. Yeah. She means the best in the end, even if it's tough love and everything.
Yeah. I know with, like, my mom, because, like, my mom, like, has, like, an accent and stuff. She would always ask me to make the phone calls at, like, times. Like, if, like, I had to make an appointment. She's like, can you call them, like, ask them about this? She was, like, be like, they're not going to take me seriously because of my accent. I'm, like, me at, like, 13 being, like, 13 having to make a phone call to, like, an office. Be like, hi, I'm calling for my mom. Like, but no. I feel like sometimes I think, I'm like, man, if I was adopted in a white family, maybe I wouldn't have, like, gotten, like, abuse, but, like, definitely abuse growing up on my fellow Asian family households, knowing the rice bag, the slipper, the hanger, the belt. Yeah.
Nah, I just got slapped.
I mean, so did I, but,
like a spanking, you know?
I mean, I got, like, spanked, too.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's one thing that I just won't understand because
like having to kneel on the rice bag for a good solid like hour or something. Like
that's crazy.
Like it'd be like this big. It's not even like this big. Honestly, actually, it might be like this big of like a rice bag, and just having to have my knees on it at like 12 or something. I was like a 12-year-old. I had a lot of instances for me. I would just have like to sit on like the toilet for like us, like my mom, like I would have to sit on the toilet seat. I wouldn't be like sitting on the toilet open. I would be like have the toilet seat on top, guys. But I would just have to sit there for like a gut solid moment. I know a lot of times like when I got in trouble, then my mom would like definitely hit me like hard. Like my mom would hit me hard.
Yeah, I've definitely had my fair share. Granted, I was a little troublemaker as well when I was younger, so, like, sometimes I do understand my mom tackling me because I would rip her shirts. So that was something about me. That's when she found out I had anxiety, and then I ended up starting therapy in 3rd grade.
Oh. Must be nice.
When I did get in trouble, like, my dad would, like, spank me or, like, slap me or something like that.
No.
So, but, like, I never had to do anything like that.
No, like, my mom has definitely, like, I've definitely been hit with, like, a hanger before. I've definitely been hit by, like, a shoe before. Just a little disclaimer, my mom does not do this anymore at my grown age of 21.
Same.
This was when I was basically, like, from, like, I want to say, like, maybe 7th grade to, like, maybe, like, early elementary school.
Yeah, this was
like,
when I was misbehaving.
Yeah, this is when I was a very bad child, and when I look back at the things that I did as a child, I understand why my mom did that.
Yeah.
Not saying it's right, guys. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying I understand where my mom's coming from, and I am breaking the generational trauma one step at a time.
Okay, also another thing randomly popped into my head. We're like a shoes-on household.
Oh.
I know, like, that's different for, like, Asian cultures
No.
because that's disrespectful when you
no.
go into someone's house with your outside shoes on and everything.
bro.
You'd mainly just be wearing slippers around the house.
I got the shoe hallway.
No, mine.
We got the shoe hallway.
No, me, no. Yeah, actually just me. I'm the only one that will wear just socks around the house. Sometimes I'll wear slippers, but my younger sibling, my dad, and my mom all wear shoes in the house and everything. They'll have shoes. My mom will have shoes on the bed. That annoys me. But
that's scary.
yeah, we were a shoes-on household. We still are a shoes-on household.
From, like, the most, like, from I can remember, I always wore no shoes in, like, the house. Like, every time I, like, go into my house, taking my shoes off in the little shoe hallway, had all of our shoes lined up, putting my shoes back where they were at, and then just walking around the house with socks on. I think that's also one of the reasons why I just always have to wear socks on, is because I'm walking around the house with no shoes on. And I usually, in my house, me and my mom, we didn't have slippers, so we just walk around with, like, socks on. That was, like, our slippers. But I think that's also the reason why I also sleep with socks on. Sorry, guys. I like sleeping with socks on because I walk around my house with no shoes on. I wear socks. But also, like, in my apartment now, I have slippers that, like, I'll wear when I walk around, like, outside of my room, like, in the hallway and, like, the kitchen and everything. But the minute I get back in my room, I take off my slippers. Like, like, why would I wear my slippers in my room?
My mom's still, like, not yell at me, but she'll be like, why aren't you wearing shoes in the house? Why aren't you wearing shoes?
Bro.
And I'm like, because I just don't like
No, that's, like, the opposite. Like, if somebody wears shoes in my mom's house, she would, like, yell at, like, my mom would yell at my stepdad for wearing shoes. She'll be like, take them off. Like, she'll be like, why are you wearing shoes? But, like, I know, like, especially, like, if I went over, like, a friend's house who weren't Asian, and I'll be like, do I have to take my shoes off? Like, where do I put my shoes? Because I always took my shoes off, so, like, I didn't know what to do with it. So I was just, like, me in, like, different households, I was like, do I take my shoes off?
Yeah, no, it was definitely interesting. I remember I went to, like, an Asian American, like, the club, like, in high school and everything, and I felt very weird just because I felt like I was not Asian enough for the Asian kids, but I also felt very weird because I was not white enough for the white kids because I looked like this. So that was definitely, like, my whole entire, me getting into college, my essay was about identity and trying to still figure it out. And, like, even to this day, I still feel like I'm figuring it out, even with, like, my 2 white parents and everything. And I'm trying to, tell my younger sibling, like, all of this stuff, too. Because I think it's important. It's your identity and everything. So,
yeah, I do.
It's something that...
Yeah, when you were like, yeah, I went to therapy at 3rd grade. I was like, guys, I started therapy freshman year of college because my mom didn't believe me. Like high school, like, was definitely when, like, I started, like, actually, like, feeling depressed. My depression, like, was getting super bad. I was, like, having, like, depression, anxiety. I had, like, them, like, super bad thoughts. I don't know if I can say them because I don't want to get bonked. I don't want to get bonked by YouTube. But let's just say toaster bath. But yeah, at first, like, when I brought it to my mom, like, at first she was, like, sympathetic and being like, oh, like, I'm sorry, like, because, like, I told her, like, one of the reasons why, because, like, her, like, hitting me and stuff, like, growing up and all that stuff, like, also impacting me. But I think, like, maybe 2 months after that, she, like, stopped believing me and be like, you just have negative thoughts. You have to stop with the negative thoughts. That's why you're depressed. And, man, I was, like, my mental health erasure as well. No, and then when I, like, got to, like, college, and, like, that's when I was just, like, because I'm, like, on my own, I have freedom. I was like, I'm taking this into my own hands. And, like, that's when I started therapy. And, like, that's when I, like, started getting better. And, like, also, thankfully, my stepdad really, really helped out. My white stepdad really helped out helping me get therapy. We love the white stepdad. But yeah, thankfully my white stepdad, he really came in clutch by like telling my mom, be like, you should listen to your child and let her get therapy. And then I did, and now here I am today, guys.
No, yeah, it was definitely, I went through therapy 3rd grade through 6th grade, had it a little bit in 7th and 8th, had it again in 9th, and then had it again my senior year. So my mom was very like, she was she had a lot of thoughts about like mental health and everything, and like especially with everything that has happened with her in the past, like I genuinely like do think that she definitely needed therapy when she was younger and stuff, and I think that that's why she was like, okay, let me get her a therapist so she doesn't end up like me.
I know dang well, Mom, if you're watching this, which I don't think you ever will, but please get help. Like,
seek professional.
Like, I love you, but like genuinely I think you would be so much better with help. Therapy.
I agree. No.
Honestly, I think all Asian parents should get therapy, like in general though, because man, generational trauma, every time I see those TikToks, I'm like, I feel seen.
Crazy.
I feel seen.
No, the generational trauma is actually insane.
Yeah.
Because I see that in like my parents too and everything. Like, not like you needed therapy when you grew up. You needed therapy. I don't care that you're 67. Go, please.
Yeah, I know. Like my mom, she uses TikToks, and like I remember one time my mom sent me like a TikTok being like of like this one Asian person like talking about like their relationship with their mom, and I was watching it. And I'm like, I don't know why you're sending this to me, because you know dang well this is not how it happened.
Yeah.
Like for us.
No, yeah.
Like I know. I think I think the fact that like I moved away for college, like I live here and I don't live at home anymore, has definitely helped me and my mom's relationship.
Me too.
Because I think the fact that me and my mom, like, we were in the same house, like, in the summertime, I would, like, always be at home and, like, with her. And, like, that's when, like, our relationship started, like, downhill. And then, like, when I'm, like, here, our relationship goes back up because, like, we're not constantly in, like, the same space, like, butting heads. Because, don't get me wrong, I love my mom. I know she definitely loves me. But, like, we definitely, like, butt heads. And we definitely have, like, different ideologies, definitely for the fact that, like, she's, like, the older generation. I'm the younger generation. So we just, like, have that. And she, even herself, like, she mentions, like, we're never going to agree on, like, ideals and stuff. But like I know like definitely like my fashion choices like in like my fashion choices in like high school and stuff, and like to this day some of them she like looks at me and she's like that's not like a proper Asian, like you shouldn't dress like that, an Asian girl wouldn't dress like that. Here I am dressing the way I dress. Love you though.
Me and Jen dress very differently, as you can tell. Right now I have jeans on and Converse and a Nike shirt. Yeah,
we do dress differently, but I love my Pookie Bird Gianna. That's why she's the first guest, guys. I immediately had this episode topic, and I was like, I gotta get Gianna on the podcast, guys. Sorry, there isn't a lot of hot takes this episode. Well, actually, there's some hot takes. There's some hot takes. There's some opinions that I definitely think my opinion is true. Argue with the wall once again. My favorite thing to say is argue with the wall. I don't care. I'm right, you're wrong. Basically. But yeah, sorry guys, there's not a lot of hot takes this episode. This episode's a little hee-hee ha-has, but a little bit more serious. AKA trauma dump. Oopsie. Sorry guys.
Trauma dumping and comparing the differences from an Asian family versus growing up in a white household. Yeah. And I turned whitewashed.
Yeah. Honestly,
it's okay.
I almost was whitewashed, but then I got freed.
I'm chilling here. I'm still living my life.
Yeah.
And everything.
We love Gianna still.
It's definitely conflicting. Like, identity-wise.
Yeah. We've been
very conflicting.
Some of, like, our friend group, we've been trying to get Gianna to, like, some of our multicultural events on campus. She literally had, like, a culture shock last semester. Did. It was so funny.
I had a very good culture shock going to my one friend's probate and everything. Yeah. I didn't even know that we had any Divine Nine here. I did not know that we had any
Gianna.
I did not know that we had any multicultural like fraternity sororities here or anything like that, because I was in one of our white sororities.
Oopsie.
But I dropped. It's okay.
Ooh, freedom.
But yeah, maybe Greek life just isn't for me.
Yeah, girl. I I'm in the National Communications Association. That's my Greek life. Lambda Pi Eta.
Period.
That's my Greek life for communications.
Period.
All for my cord. I'm the social media chair, actually, guys. Me and social media are like this. Love her. Love her. As I say with, like, no tech talk videos being posted,
okay.
guys.
That's okay. Who said that? Who said that?
Oh, who said that? Wasn't me. Me when I lie. Me when I lie.
Me when I am actually not.
Me when I lie.
No, yeah. Definitely having the culture shock, especially even in, like, college, like, as a junior, like, I'm still learning so many different, like, things. That's the thing.
It's okay. When I graduate, I'm still coming back to torment you.
Period. No,
I will not let my girl be whitewashed forever. I am freeing Gianna one step at a time.
Yeah, I'm
Freeing
slowly
Gianna.
learning more and more about my culture and other Asian cultures, and then just other cultures in general, because I feel like I definitely want to be more educated and everything. Like, going to those probates were definitely a huge culture shock for me, which changed up my point of view a lot and everything. So
yeah, but guys, as you can tell, we're reaching the end of the episode. We're reaching the end of our Gianna episode. Gianna time.
I know, don't worry, I'll be back.
Guys, I'm gonna get Gianna back on the pod. I'm gonna get her back on the pod. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Even though I know I said future episodes we're gonna have different guests, don't worry. Gianna's gonna be coming back.
Diversity, but I'm gonna be back.
Gianna is gonna be back, guys. Don't worry, because listen, once again, guys, please share, like, and subscribe to the podcast. Please let this blow up so I can continue this after I graduate. And then if I continue, we get more Gianna time. You guys see my vision? Like, I got what was I doing? I have a vision, guys. I have a vision. Like, Gianna will come back if we can have the podcast continue. Will we be in this fire room? No. But we'll have Gianna back. We'll have the podcast continue. We'll have Asian time continue. Oh my god. Actually, one more side little thing. Gianna didn't really know what Asian time, like, people of color time was until a hot minute. We were like, yeah, girl, if an event starts at 8 p.m., that means it's starting at, like, 9:30, 10. Yeah. Like, we are not starting on the dot.
Yeah.
That being said, guys, I'm recording this Thursday night. Instead of the first episode last week being recorded on a Wednesday, this is recorded on a Thursday night.
7:30.
Yep.
Period.
This is the end of the episode. Bye, guys. Bye. Okay. Also, my little fit check for you guys, as I did last episode. We're in a really small space because we can't fit. But yeah, this is the fit. As Gianna said, she's wearing jeans.
I did just go to the gym. I'd like everyone to know that. Thank you.
I am wearing a skirt. I am sitting on the chair. I have leg warmers on. This is as best as we're getting, guys. But yeah, guys, this is the end of the episode. Bye.